Are you nervous?
Hi, my name is Christy Chansey, and I'm going to demonstrate on how to give CPR. The one thing that I want you to keep in mind during this is that any CPR is better than no CPR at all. So, let me demonstrate. I found a victim. He's obviously unconscious. The first thing that I want to do is I want to shake him, try to arouse him. No, hello, sir, sir. No movement. So the next thing I would do is if there's a bystander, and there is a bystander, I would point and I would say, you, go call 911. The reason I'm doing this, pointing a person out, is because studies have shown that in an emergency situation and there's a crowd or certain people, they tend to think that someone else has called 911, therefore emergency response is delayed. So you want to point to someone in the crowd and tell that person, call 911. All right. After that, I'm going to lay my head lightly on his chest, listen for any air movement, watch to see if his chest is rising, and it is not. And you do this fairly quickly. I'm doing it slowly so that you understand the steps. The next thing I'm going to do is to assess for a pulse. And by assessing for a pulse, I'm going to take my two fingers, and just below his jaw, I'm going to feel his carotid artery for a pulse. About 1.5 to 2 seconds, no pulse. At this point, I would take his head, tilt it backwards, open his mouth, pinch his nose, and make good contact on his mouth, and give 2 slow breaths, watching to see if his chest rises. 1, 2, and yes, his chest rose. At this point, I'm going to take one hand and place it right where his rib cage meets his breast. You'll be able to feel. And your other hand over the top. Position yourself so that you're straight. And I'm going to give 30 compressions. Now, the trick to the compressions is that you need to do them fairly quickly. In my case, there's a song that goes along with it, not a very tactful song, but it does work to help you keep the beat, so to speak, because what you're doing as you're doing compressions is pushing the blood through him, which is very important. The song is Another One Bites the Dust. So you'll give 30 to that beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Then you will give 2 more breaths. Again, watching his chest rise. Immediately, you go back to compression, 30. And a third time, 30. Still, no one has arrived, so I continue. Keep your body straight, your arms straight, so that you're given very good compression. Assess for a pulse. No pulse. Compression. 30. Again. And then 30. As long as you're keeping that blood flowing, you're doing good. Okay. Another thing I would like for you to know is that as I tilted his head back and I gave him his 2 breaths, I watched to see his chest rise. But if his chest hadn't rose and you could not get air through, then you would need to take your finger and clear anything that might be obstructing his throat. Turn him sideways, whatever it takes to get that out of that throat. And then give him his 2 breaths and start the compression. You have to have an open airway. Number 1. Airway is very important. Can't be any obstruction. Got to keep that head tilted and keep that airway open. You got to get this man air. You've got to keep that heart pumping blood because it's not on its own. So you're doing your compressions, you're doing them really fast. Another one bites the dust, another one bites the dust, another one bites the dust, and you continue this. To be exhausting, but you keep going. This man is depending on you to save his life. Hopefully, help will arrive soon, or a bystander can assist you. They can give compressions, and you can give breaths. And you continue this process again until EMS arrives. And that is how you give CPR.